Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another installment of your favorite podcast in the whole wide world, the Real Estate Playbook. Coming to you pre-recorded from Tampa, Florida. It's your host, Paul Goldman, and we have a special guest for you today. Let me start by saying this is episode 55. Don't quote me on that, but I'm 99% confident. And if you're a fan of numbers like I am, 55 sounds great. And our guest is even greater. Let me introduce him. His name is John Hudson. How are you, John?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here, Paul.
Welcome, my friend.
Welcome, everyone.
So, John, I've known you for quite a while now, my friend. I see you as a beacon of positivity in the world of real estate. Anytime we would see you come through the office, I'm like, boy, am I glad to see you, John, because you always got a smile, man, and you always got a fun story to tell. So I'm glad to have you here today, John.
Oh, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. And I do try to have a positive outlook and come in, with a positive attitude and, always let's get down to business and, get this next sale going.
Yeah, absolutely. So, John, for the people that don't know you like I do, could you tell us how you got your start in real estate and kind of how you got to where you are with the brokerage today?
Well, I got my license in May 2019, and, I tried a couple different brokerages before I came to 54, and so I had some sales success before I came here, but I was given, a tip that, 54 has a lot of great people here, and and I'm like, so I came up here and met with, Richard Key Story, and it was just great, and everything that you have going on here with the technology, and I've enjoyed it from the word go.
Yeah, absolutely. I even remember when you first came on, John, and you were like, I think to quote you exactly, you said you were tickled with how great everything was going here. So
it's amazing.
I still remember that.
Yeah, it is amazing with all the technology, and you got wonderful people working here.
Absolutely.
Everybody's willing to help. They step up. You have a question. There's not anybody that wouldn't help you in any way. You ask for something, and they'll give you assistance. And I'm like, that is just so welcoming, And when you're coming from other places where, to share anything might be, they don't want to tell anybody how to any kind of guidance, and that's not 54 Realty. That's not the culture here. You will get plenty of assistance and help, and it is very a welcoming prospect.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, you just made me think of something, and now it left my brain. That's right. You were saying before.
That happens often to me.
On here, every single time I'll be like, "What was I about to say?" But you were telling me before we started recording, John, that the person that introduced you to the brokerage, and I think it's okay if I say who it is, was Erin Bayer. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was working with her on another deal, and we spoke quite often, and then she knew where I was at, and she said, John, I think there's a place that'll suit you better, and I think you have the right attitude and the ability to work with people. And then that's when she mentioned 54 Realty, and it's been awesome. I can't thank her enough. She's been quite an inspiration, and it is everything she said it was. It was just awesome.
Well, that's awesome. Shout out to Erin. She was on the show, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Thanks, Erin.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had never met her before we recorded, but it's awesome to hear that we have some advocates out there.
Yeah, she does a great job. Yeah. Has good loan programs, and need to shout out to Erin. And if you need any help, give her a call.
That's right. And of course, go back and check out her episode. She's got some fun stuff to say on there. John, moving along here, my friend. So fast forwarding to today. Well, let me start by saying, so you got your license in 2019, and I wasn't working here in 2019. I believe I started February of 2020. And of course, that was right before the pandemic hit. And that's when the market sort of did this big flip into the seller's market, as everybody kind of knows. So what was that shift like from when you first got licensed into the crazy seller's market of the pandemic era? Was that a big adjustment for you, kind of?
It was a huge adjustment. And so it's just, buyers, could go and put a price down on a home. When it became a seller's market, there were so many people bidding on the same house. You would submit your bid. You would call the listing agent. Hey, I just submitted my bid, and they'd say, yeah, we did get it, and I'm just adding it to the my spreadsheet. And I'm like, what spreadsheet? Yeah, she said, yeah, I'll let you know when how you come out in the end, and so I'm like, there's people actually doing spreadsheets, and then you'd be, and then they would actually send you a note, and you'd be like, you were number 12 of 30, and I'm like, hey, number 12,
Right.
might as well be, be number 2 of 1, and you still didn't get it. So, and it's disappointing because I work hard for the buyers.
Yeah.
I want them to get what they want, at a good price. And it's this past, it's been crazy.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, but you do the best you can.
Yeah.
And that's all. At the end of the day, it's all you can do.
Now, so that was the craziness of the pandemic era, if you will. And you and I were talking again before we turned the camera on. That's starting to shift back a little bit, starting to become a little bit easier for buyers agents. Am I mistaken, or is that accurate?
Yes.
Slowing down a little bit.
Yes. Yes. Now the other issue is, these people that were looking before, had a price in mind. Now that the interest rates have shot up to, we'll say right at close to 7%.
Yeah.
They can't afford as much house. So if they were looking for the 400s, now they're going to be into the 3s. And, and they're like, well, I'm going to be quite honest, it doesn't have quite the features.
Right.
The 300 versus the 400, there's going to be less features, and they're not as thrilled to get a 300 instead of that 400.
Yeah.
But they'll get the $300,000 house, and their house payment will be the same as the 4 because the interest rates have shot up.
Yeah.
So it does hurt, and it does sting a little bit, but these interest rates are still not that bad, and they can take some money and buy the rate down some. So
Yeah.
there's still options.
It seems like, John, from an outsider's perspective, which is kind of what I do here on this show, but it seems like there's always going to be some sort of unattractive aspect about the market, no matter what sort of stage you're in. Like during the seller's market, obviously it was very difficult to submit offers. Now the interest rates are high. There's always something that's kind of ugly about the market, right? But that's the job as a real estate agent, is to kind of find ways around it and find ways to make it work for different people. So I can't believe I'm just now having this realization. But an anecdote I was thinking of while you were telling me that, Nico Romero, he had posted something on his social media recently from when the seller's market was at its height. And I guess he was texting back and forth with a listing agent, and he was like, hey, I just wanted to check and see if you got my offer. And the listing agent responded and was like, yeah, you're one of, I believe the number was 63 offers. And I was just like, oh my goodness gracious. At least you're not having to deal with that quite as much anymore.
No, it's not. It's not as much. But at the time when you're writing 12, 15 offers a week, and you're tired from all this typing and stuff, and then to submit an offer, and then they come back and say, yeah, you're one of number 50, or, and it's just, I'm like, holy smokes.
Kind of gets you down a little bit, I'd imagine.
It does, but you're like, okay, we submitted a good offer, we went above asking, and you do the best you can.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to, there's a phrase that would apply perfectly here, but I can't think of it right now. Man, I wish I could think of it. You got to cast a wide net, basically. You got to try them all,
You do. Matter of fact, I even called it, I said, we need to do the shotgun effect, which means you're putting, you're actually, instead of the wide net, I'm saying we need to put out multiple offers on multiple homes and see what sticks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I really don't like to have to use that, because that's a lot of, pick homes that you think you might want. I said, we'll just, and I think a lot of people were doing that at the time. It was just putting out multiple offers on multiple homes that they would like, and just kind of see what sticks.
Exactly.
So there was a lot of cash offers at the time too. So, and that was tough to beat, cash offers.
No kidding. Yeah.
Because it seemed like they had unlimited funds. So
cash is king, right, John?
Cash is king.
John, so it sounds like you've survived quite a few shifts here, and again, we were just talking before the podcast, and your business is doing quite well right now. So, congratulations to you for that,
I
my friend.
appreciate that.
No problem. I'm wondering if you can kind of illuminate me. Actually, before I ask you this question, I gotta jog your memory about something. I don't know if you would remember this. In the early sort of days of doing this podcast, you were one of the first people that came to me and said that you had been watching a few episodes, and you were like, at least I'm 99% sure this was you, John. And you said something along the lines of, you should ask your guests, like, what is their secret sauce? Like, what is their secret ingredient? Or something along those lines. And at the time, I wasn't asking any sort of question like that. And now it's sort of a regular part of my repertoire here. So I have to give you some credit for that, John.
Oh, well, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. So, yeah, the secret to the sauce is perseverance, and you have to continually to, just keep working at it. And each sale is a little different. No two sales are just like listings. No two are just alike, and you have to constantly kind of make mental notes of what worked, what didn't work, what kind of little hiccups you may run into, and just kind of see if you can't, smooth out the bumps in the road.
Yeah.
And because it is kind of like a bumpy road to get, even once you get a contract. I mean, it's the lender, the title company, the listing agent, everything. You have to keep everybody on the same, and keep everybody on the. I always say
straight and
this.
narrow.
I'm always like, we got to keep the train on the tracks.
Yeah.
So we're going towards the same goal, and we're all shooting for the same. Get the buyers into the house, and they get what they want. And so we try to do that. But the secret sauce is, you have to continue to hone. You got to keep working at it, and try to. And if you see something coming that you may be a problem, see if you can't get that handled before it becomes a problem. That, I'd say, that is the secret sauce. Is little problems that could come up. You see it, get it handled quick as you can. Get those things handled, and then keep moving.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking up top too, John, about your positive attitude. To what degree do you think that has a positive impact on your career, on your business?
Well, I mean, having that positive attitude, people can see it. It's just like, the people you're working with. If you're not confident in what you're doing, your people you're working with, they're not going to want to work with somebody that's not confident in what they're doing. And so you got to be confident in what you're doing, and you need to be spot on and tell it just like it is. What if there's, you try to be as honest. Well, you have to be just total honest when you're describing things, and put it all on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. You made me think of something too, John. One of my old jobs, I'm sure I've talked about it on here before, but I used to have a lot of difficult conversations with people, with customers, and it would make me anxious. Sure, nobody wants to be like the bearer of bad news, right? Which I'm sure you guys often have to be in this career. But the sooner that you can accept that you just have to have those hard conversations and get it out of the way, I think the job becomes a lot easier. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. That way there's no hiccups towards the end at the closing table, that you try to have everybody's on, this is what's getting fixed, this is what's not getting fixed, and there's no hiccups at the very end, or you try not. I mean, you do the best you can. I'm telling you, even when you have things in writing, still sometimes things pop up, and you're still like, oh my, you're doing all you can do. You hope that the other side, because there's always the other side, the other realtor, the other party that you're dealing with, that they, they're helping you do what everybody's agreed to do.
Their ducks are in a row.
Their ducks are in a row. So you do try. You really do try. And so it's trying at times to try to get it all done, and but you keep smiling. You do the best you can. Any questions, please ask, and and you answer everything, and when something comes up, you always let the buyer or your seller, whoever you're working with, you let them know as soon as something pops up that, hey, you need to know about this.
Yeah, get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way, and that comes up definitely like on inspections. Things might pop up. Hey, do you want this fixed? Is that an issue for you? Is this something you can fix on your own, or you want to ask for this? Of course, we'll try to ask for everything to get fixed, but they may balk on something, and then we'll just kind of work it out. But the big thing is just have everything on the table and everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And that makes it easy.
Yeah, definitely. You made me think of when you're talking about the other side, like being in school and doing a group project, and you're like, the best you can do is have your own part ready, right?
That's right. Yeah, those other 6 people, things get dicey and sketchy.
Exactly. But at least you got the A, right? Yeah.
Hey, I'm working on it.
That's right. John, obviously on the flip side of the secret sauce, everybody has struggles, weaknesses, obstacles, hurdles, if you will, in their professional life. I'm wondering if you could shed some light on perhaps what one of yours might be, and if it's something that you're still working on.
Oh, well, yes. Staying in contact. You just you do your best the best you can. As a realtor, it is a 7-day-a-week job.
Oh yeah.
You feel like 24/7. So the phone can ring from 7 a.m., 6 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
And you have to answer that phone. How can I help you? And so it's a 7-day-a-week, and sometimes it can be draining. And so when it comes down to time to make additional contacts, send out additional emails and things like that, where you're kind of I don't know, mentally taxed or whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of, I think it wears on you. And so you have to make time for things. And then, I'm trying to get everything. It shouldn't be, but it just seems like it's, at times it's hard for me to make all those connections.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of people that a lot of faces and names you got to remember, right, John? So my question for you then to follow up on that is, don't you think though that it's a little bit easier having like a team, like a support team to help you with these kinds of things? Obviously, yes, you're still the face, right? You're still the one that's out there hitting the appointments and whatnot. But I suppose, for lack of better phrasing, it could be worse, right? You could be completely on your own, no transaction coordinator or agent partner or a broker or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely helps, right?
Oh, it definitely helps.
Yeah.
And it takes a load off your plate that they're handling things in the background. It's part of your team, and it is great to have that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you can go ahead and find, be working on new business, and everything's fine on your other business that you've already got under contract. So it really helps. It helps to have that team, and if you have a question, you can always call your AP or your transaction coordinator, and where we're at from here, and continue to go.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Little awkward segue here because this doesn't really have much to do. Actually, you know what? This does kind of have to do with what we were just talking about. Having a support team is super important, right? In any career, really, having people that you can rely on, John. So I'm curious. I like hearing the different ways that people answer this question. What, or who rather, are some of the most influential people in your life that have had an impact on your career?
I'd have to say family has been a big plus.
For sure.
I've had a sister that's done retail, and she was very good at it. And just other family members that just the way they handled themselves in business, and it was they were just very professional in how they handled themselves, and that's very positive.
Yeah.
Just how get to listen to how they handle things in their business, and I think it kind of gave me a stronger footing on this is how businesses runs, and this is the quality of how you should handle yourself in business. It has everything to do with your outlook, your personality, and your attire when you meet people.
That's true.
Because it just makes a difference.
Got to look sharp. That's right. That's right.
I have seen the realtors out there in the t-shirt and shorts, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, did you just come off the beach but no, I mean, but that works for
Hey,
them.
right.
I just choose not to go that route.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What about within the industry, John? Do you have any other sort of realtors that have had kind of an impact on you? Anybody at the brokerage, maybe?
Yeah, Mike Peoples,
Shout out to Mike.
Mike, I'm telling you, Arlene is good.
Arlene is awesome.
Yes, and the list goes on because it's just everybody here is just absolutely just fabulous, man. I'm just and when I see them on every week on the weekly board and they're showing up on the boards, I'm like, man, way to go, way to go. So, but again, if you have a question, you can always speak to one of the other realtors here, and they'll additionally give you guidance. So,
Yeah.
it's not like it's a top secret thing, and you can always get assistance here,
Yeah.
which is plus.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. John, this is one of my favorite questions to ask people. It's kind of a fun one. If you weren't a real estate agent, if life had gone differently, what would you be doing as a career?
Yeah. I've done quite a few things, but I don't know if insurance would be the way I'd go. I do have my insurance license at 215, and I don't know if that would be the way I'd go. I'm not sure.
It's tricky,
I'm not
right?
sure.
It's a fun question to answer. Is that me?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I thought I was going crazy for a second.
No, it's my fun.
No worries.
But, it's a deal. I'll handle that when I get off.
Like
the
you
line.
said, John, it's a 24/7
It is.
job,
It's
man.
a 24/7 job, and I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
I'm thrilled. They're calling. It's
Yeah,
good.
that's
so,
right.
I'll show them my house here shortly.
Awesome, John. Well, I had a follow-up question for you. I just lost it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, you're good. I just thought of it. So do you think that you would find yourself, because you mentioned the insurance, would you find yourself in a sort of sales or advisor type role? Is that the kind of role that you prefer, do you think?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I like working with people. I enjoy working with people, and I think that's where I'm kind of drawn to.
Yeah.
Is to, and again, the whole thing is, and I have sold some insurance before I came here, and even at you try to help them choose the right plan, whether it's the right house, it's in insurance, it's the right plan that works for them and gives them the most coverage for the most dollar.
Yeah.
In real estate, you're trying to give them the best house, the most house for the right amount of money.
That's right. That's right.
So either way, that's the way it goes.
You got to find the shoe that fits, isn't that right, John?
It is. It is. So everybody's got a different size foot, and
This is true.
and they want a different, whether it's a tennis shoe or a loafer. You got to find what they're looking for, and if the shoe fits,
Bada bing, bada boom.
hey, what more can you say?
I love that metaphor. Can't believe we haven't thought of that one before.
Hey, it's out there now.
Yeah. You got to copyright that, John.
Yeah, that's it.
John, so we kind of blew through the questions here, my friend. I want to, before I ask you the last question, thank you again for coming on.
I appreciate it. I appreciate being asked.
Yeah, no problem, sir. This is how we always end the show, John. So think back to 2019, John Hudson, freshly licensed. Think about the advice that you want to receive. If you now could go back and give advice to the new real estate agents out there based on everything that you've learned, what would your advice be?
You're not going to make $1 million. HGTV and those $1 million listings, and you're going to make millions right off the bat. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It could. It's not that it couldn't. It's
possible.
It is possible. Everything, somebody wins that lottery ticket every now and then and wins those millions, but there's only a few of those every year. So, but no, don't give up. Try to pick your brokerage. Hopefully you'll come to 54, but, pick a good brokerage. Get your foundation as your, of your knowledge base, working the programs, and then working with people and getting your, getting the language down for real estate. So understanding how to talk to people and being able to extract what they're looking for.
Yeah.
You need to be able to understand what they're looking for in a home, what's going to work, what's not going to work, and that has to do with areas, size of home, how many rooms is in it. You want a 2-car garage or not? I mean, you just know how to talk to them, and they generally will tell you everything that they're looking for, and you're like, that's perfect.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. I can find that. That's easy.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, John. Well, that's it, my friend. Did you have anything that you perhaps would want to promote? Your social media or anything? It's okay if you don't.
sunnyfloridaforsale.com
That's right.
is my that's my website. It goes right to 54 Realty, but yeah, that's mine.
Awesome.
I have that. So, but anyhow, if you're looking for a home, keep me in mind.
That's right.
And if you want to sell one, keep me in mind.
That's right. Bada bing, bada boom. John Hudson, check him out. sunnyfloridaforsale.com. Excuse me. And I think that's it, John. So, again, I appreciate you coming on, sir.
I appreciate it, Paul. It's
Yeah.
been wonderful.
Absolutely, my friend. We'll have you back sometime. Let me do my little promotion now. You guys know the drill. If you're listening, go ahead and leave us a little click the little heart button or whatever button it is. If you're watching us on YouTube, hello. Nice to see you.
Have a good day.
That's right. Subscribe and all that. And that's it, guys. We have a special episode next week as well, so make sure you tune in. I'll be wearing the same shirt because we're recording them in the same day, but we'll see you then. Take care. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Have a blessed day.